Meine Herren, the target for today is a road bridge north of Staronizhny Stiplievskaya. Each aircraft will carry 8 or 4, depending on configuration, 250-kilogram general-purpose bombs to effect the destruction of this target. Our fighter escort, BF-109s from JG-52, will meet us over waypoint 2 at Zaporozhskaya airfield and escort us to and from the target. Expect light flak over the front line and over the target. The probability of fighter interception is high. Track on the run-up will be 086 degrees, though the route may be revised at commander's discretion. The formation will bomb from an altitude of 2,500 meters to ensure accuracy. The town, aerodrome, and river should all be plainly visible on the run-up. That's all. Good luck. Welcome aboard my HE-111 for the 12th mission of this 111 career. Let's get configured and go. I think 85% radiators will be adequate for now. It's not quite as... well, actually, no, it's still very hot outside, so I'll open them up all the way. Put the lights on, and I think I'll see if I can get away with using 15 degrees of flap again, just because it's easier to accelerate after takeoff with less flap. And hold the brakes. Set takeoff power. Power set, off the brakes. We are rolling. As you can see from the very conveniently placed clock on the yoke here, it is 05:53 in the blessed AM, so the sun is just rising in the east. Should be pretty much broad daylight by the time we're over the target, though. Anyway, airspeed's live. Come on, give me 160. Yeah, that'll do. Up we go. Alright, gear up. Trim a little. 180, flaps up. Give it a few more seconds, and dial her back to climb power. Whoa, oops. There we go. Climb power set, and I tend to actually reduce to 80% on both of those during the climb towards the target so that the formation can get formed up. Should be 09 or 5 track to where we're meeting our fighters, so yeah, we'll continue to climb and head that way. Welcome back. We've leveled off at our en route altitude of 2,500 meters. That is Zaporozhskaya airfield, where we're meeting up with our fighters, and if we jump into the map, I'll explain a little revision. Because I've decided, at commander's discretion, to change our route a little bit using the nice little ruler tools up here. We are going to dogleg our track a little bit. We're going to go north to Budyvenskaya, and our initial point is going to be the southeast corner of it, and from there we'll head this way to bomb the bridge. That way we're square with it, and our bomb pattern should be like along the full length of the bridge and anything immediately off to either end, and then we'll resume the actual plotted route out. This also gives us the advantage of going further from the enemy's fighter bases on the way in, hopefully being able to get closer to or reach the target before encountering resistance if the enemy decide to contest this raid. So our track over to the initial point will be 074. So, going by our wind data for 2,000 meters, I'm gonna need a calculator for this. Give me one moment. Okay, so 075. Okay, even I know that 75 minus 14 is 61 degrees, or near enough 60 off our port side, at 6 meters per second, which the speed 300, altitude 2,500, gives us a drift factor of 4 degrees to starboard, so our corrected heading will be 4 degrees to port, so our corrected heading will be 070. which we will come left to once we're overhead the field here. I didn't close down the radiators after we leveled off. I can certainly do that now. I'll do 2550 for now. I'll probably be able to close them further. It's not quite as warm up at altitude. So that should be all good. And we're just waiting to pass over that field now. We'll take up our corrected heading. Not really much in the way of navigational checkpoints until we're on the other side of the water. So we'll just be going by the assumption that my calculations are correct until we get there. And almost overhead. I'll make the turn once the airfield's right disappeared underneath that thing that looks suspiciously like bicycle chain there. And I do believe I heard our fighters starting up, so that is well. And make the turn. Whoops. Come on, keep her level. Now I've actually leveled us off very specifically at 2,460 meters. I'll explain why in a second. Because somehow, in my infinite obliviousness, I've managed to not notice up until now that we actually get a figure for the target elevation. And it's 2 meters above sea level. Our altimeter in the cockpit is set to the QFE of our home base. And our home base is 40 meters above sea level. So near enough a difference of 40. If I climb to 2,500 meters QFE from home base, that will place us exactly 2,500 meters above target elevation, if that makes any sense at all. So that should give us the best accuracy. Once again, for the last few missions, I've been tinkering a little bit with bomb site settings based on what I've been reading about how the guts of the site actually work in-game. So I'm hoping that can improve our results. We'll see. Welcome back. We have not encountered any enemy opposition as of yet. And if we have a look out the window there, we can see the town. And that sort of skinny bit off in the corner is right there. So we are approaching the initial point. We're getting some nifty colors in the clouds, but hey. And now that we have that point in sight, I can delete this line and draw the next one. So from that southeast corner to the target, we're looking at a track of 143 degrees. So let's calculate our drift for that. So, let's see, 2,000 meters from 14. Hang on. What was the desired track again? 143 degrees. 143 minus 14. 129, or near enough 130 degrees from our port side at 6 meters per second, which gives us a drift factor of approximately 3 degrees to starboard. So we'll need to correct 3 degrees to port. So that gives us a corrected heading on the run-up of 140. We'll get ready to make the turn shortly here. Temperatures are looking okay. I'm always monitoring those continuously throughout the trip. What else can I say? Oh yes, I can mention something about our formation. I actually reduced the number today. We've dispatched 7 aircraft, including myself, 5 H-16s and 2 H-6s. During the day that we were stood down on the 9th, we got 8 new aircraft in total, I think. Anyway, we now have 8 H-6s and 8 H-16s. And some new pilots, so we have a little bit more wiggle room in terms of aircraft in inventory. So this time, yeah, I brought mostly, oh dear, H-16s, and buried the H-6s in the middle of the formation where they should be the best protected through our mutual protective firepower, theoretically. And we're just about at the initial point now. We'll see how quickly we burn through our supply of H-16s as we go, but I don't know. It's always a tricky decision to try and balance preserving the good airplanes versus actually, you know, using them to greater effect against the enemy and all that. At least I've pretty much mastered keeping the formations together. The mixed formations. Okay. I think it's just about time to make the turn. Yeah. So, hold her level as best I can, come right, take up a heading of 140. Don't climb. In fact, drop a bit, keep us at 2460. Level, level, level. I think the bridge is on this river. Oh yeah, I can see the little roundy doodly that the bridge is near to. So we should be able to sight it visually fairly easily. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, except you know what? I think I messed something up. Nope, no I didn't. Although that's looking actually... It's more like 2.5 degrees really, but let's set it here and have a look. Right, so yeah, the target, you see this round thing here, that's very distinctive in the sight. The target is just south of that, which means actually we need to come left a bit. I think I undershot the turn slightly, that's probably why this is, why the picture is slightly off here. So I'll actually turn a bit left of the target to regain the track so that the wind data is all correct. Where are we passing relative to these puddles here? We overfly the middle of the far... Yeah, this one. Okay, that's a nice handy way to regain track visually. Let's set up the bombs. So 0.10. Drop all of them. In fact, we're pretty close to the target. Bomb bay doors are coming open. And I expect airspeed to drop to about 300. May change our wind correction, like, microscopically, but it doesn't appear to be enough to make a difference. And I'll just wait until we pass right over this pond here so that we're exactly on the desired track. Should be close enough. Bring her over. That's close enough to 140. Doodly doo. And yeah, airspeed seems to be centering up on 300, which is fine. We've got a pair of bridges here, haven't we? Doesn't look like it on the map. Maybe the main bridge is down and there's a pontoon bridge next to it, a temporary crossing? In which case we'll just bomb whichever one's intact, but there's a good chance we'll actually be able to hit both of them. Maybe. Yeah, I think that is the situation. Alright. Well, we're just about ready. Since there's a bit of time, I'll recheck all the figures. 2,500 per the little calculation that I did. 300, wind, pretty sure is correct. I see some muzzle flashes. 2,500 meters. The small caliber flak can reach up to 2,000, but some of the mid-caliber guns can reach us a little more readily at 2,500. We are trading some risk for accuracy here. Anyway, 5 sekunden. Los! And observe. Assigned objective completed. Yeah, I know. If our bomb pattern is good, we should actually take out some of these guns and units near the bridge. That'd be pretty cool. Ooh! Only just caught it with the end of my pattern, but the rest of the formations was good. We definitely got some hits on the bridge. Okay, well, good to know for next time. And the rally point is Petrovskaya, which is pretty much due east, so we'll make the turn. I will throttle back slightly so that the formation can keep pace with us as we turn off to the rally point. That's a Soviet fighter base down there. We'll see whether or not they're asleep today. From the experience we've had before, it's like really hard to know. What's this? Is that... Nope, that's Krasnoarmeyskaya. So we'll be passing north of there. Petrovskaya. It's near this big bunch of puddle-looking things here. In fact, yeah, there it is. Okay, I'll aim pretty much straight at that. Maybe correcting very slightly to starboard for wind. And we'll level off. I'll check how the... Whoops. Actually, no, the ventral turret's good. Check how the formation's doing. They seem to be keeping up, so I can put... I can put the power back on. Some flak bursts up there, possibly shooting at our fighters, or might just not be very accurate. Hard to say. I'll just double check that really is what I think I'm looking at. Yeah. And I'll assume that our correction is roughly... Well, we'll actually call it 3 degrees to port because we're a little more square with the wind direction here. But I'll do a slightly more precise drift calculation as we go. One thing you can actually do that I've been waiting for an opportunity to demonstrate, although given the lack of static objects below us, I may or may not be able to. Another way that you can determine your wind drift just for navigation purposes is to point the sight straight down and look for objects on the ground and try to keep them on the line by adjusting the dial. I mean, there are even little spots on the ground where we can do that. A bit like how the drift meter in the B-17 works. So, once I pass over something a bit more definite by way of a landmark, I might see about doing that. But like this little spot on the ground here, we're tracking it pretty good. This one, yeah, I think I've twiddled that pretty much onto the line, which means our drift correction should be about 4 degrees, but again, little navigational minutiae that I'll see to as we go. Okay, our fighters just called out that they're engaging a fighter to the southeast. I'll hop up on top and see what I can see. Those look like 109s. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks very enemy right now. Although, who's this coming in? Okay, gunner's calling out he's engaging. That fighter looks like it's making an attack run. Whoops. I'll definitely shoot at it. And I'll do my very best not to shoot the tail off. Going for one of our mates in the formation. that a yak? I'm not sure. What else we got up here? He's broken off. Was our bomber hit? I'm not sure. Ooh. Oh, yeah. That bomber was definitely hit and going down. The crew's bailing out. I don't see anything else just now. Ooh, who's this? That's a 109? I want to say? Ooh, let's count shoots. 1, 2, 3, 4. 111 as a crew of 5. I suspect that might have killed the pilot, and that's why it pitched up like that. Ooh, okay. Fighters are getting stuck in. Ours and theirs. Hard to... Whoa! Barker, barker, barker. Give me the pilot seat. Evasive action. Who's on fire? Am I on fire? No, that's one of... Okay. That was either a collision or a fuel explosion, but either way, well, that's it, I'm afraid. Ooh, just like that, eh? Ooh. The fact that that shows an aircraft destroyed suggests that there may have been a collision, but that could also be one that I downed with the gun. But, bloody hell. Well, as said from the beginning, this is an Iron Man career, so we're dead. That's it. That's the end. Seems I didn't hit any pieces of the bridge, but I'm quite certain the rest of the formation did. So let's see what the damage is from there. And unfortunately, because the mission ended automatically, we don't get to find out whether those fighters might have done a number on the formation afterwards, although I suspect in reality they would have. Yes, August Kraptawa was killed in action, by the way. If anyone's wondering about the name, it's a reference to a slightly obscure Kurt Vonnegut novel called Mother Night, where August Kraptawa is a senile old Nazi living in New York in the 60s. I thought it was very, very funny, so I decided to use it. Anyway, oh, great. Posthumously awarded the Iron Cross second class. Thanks. Anywho, I guess we don't get anything about the... Oh, here it is. Yes, so we had one other aircraft go down. Looks like the crew bailed out though, so maybe I missed a shoot. And obviously my aircraft goes down, with all hands most likely, at the very least with the pilot. So, since that's the end of the career, let's review some statistics, shall we? I mean, this is during the entire period that the unit was active, so not just the time that I was with it. Destroyed a surprising number of aircraft. 69 aircraft, 33 vehicles, 19 railway targets, 63 ground armaments, 68 buildings, and 10 marine targets. I, as an individual, downed 1 enemy aircraft over the course of the career, destroyed 2 vehicles, 1 station facility, 2 artillery pieces, 2 anti-aircraft guns, 13 buildings, and 2 bridges across 12 missions, spanning all of 10 days. Well, that has been the career. I hope it was enjoyable to all who watched it. I am, as always, open to input about what to do on the channel in the future, although I kind of want to do another bomber career, possibly in IL-2 1946. We'll see. I've got the bat mod up and running, so we'll see about that. I'll be back with something in the future, and that is all. Thanks for watching the career. Toodles.